Okay, so maybe The Purge and The Internship didn't really set the standards for a potentially great year for summer movies. But don't worry, this is the end, and Man of Steel have now set the tone. Hopefully it will start out to be a great year for summer movies, and let's just get started. I want to start off with Man of Steel. Okay, Man of Steel, the most anticipated movie of this year, is finally here. I was so excited. I was honestly actually a little overhyped for this movie, and I'll tell you why. You know, when I first read critics' review on this movie, a lot of it wasn't exactly the reviews I was expecting. You know, they were kind of not as good, and I was kind of pissed off at it. Really, I was kind of pissed off at the ratings, you know. It was kind of like a Hobbit moment, you know. And what I mean is that, like, you know, when the first Hobbit movie came out, you know, I was so excited from it. It was definitely the #2 big anticipated movie of 2012, you know, when Dark Knight went around. But anyway, you know, I was really excited for that movie, you know, because I love Lord of the Rings and I wanted to see The Hobbit so bad. And the critics had disappointed me with some of their ratings, and I was really pissed. But then when I eventually saw this movie, I really loved it, and I started to question the critics on their judgment. And that's kind of what the same deal with Man of Steel. I mean, critics have kind of gave it poorer reviews than what really was expected. But honestly, I came out of this movie and I loved the movie. Now, I mean, I was kind of overhyped. Like I said before, I was kind of overhyped. I honestly wanted to give this movie a 10. But honestly, it didn't really meet the 10, like that perfect 10 that I was reaching for, you know. It kind of went down, but not drastically like Iron Man 3 did. But, you know, it kind of went down. Because, I mean, Man of Steel was kind of disappointing, but Iron Man 3 was really disappointing. I'm getting off topic, sorry. But yeah, Man of Steel, I mean, it just went... I mean, it kind of started to decrease, but not too much, but it was about, you know, I don't even know what I'm saying. Bottom line, it wasn't the 10 I was looking for. Honestly, I kind of wanted this movie to be like the Dark Knight trilogy, you know, all those movies. Well, actually, I take that back. Like the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises, because honestly, you know, if you saw my last video, I gave the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises 10s, because they were perfect, you know, and they were amazing. And what makes the movies amazing is not, you know, just the action and the thrills. It's the story and how Christopher Nolan tells great stories. And I was really hoping, you know, because even though Christopher Nolan was the producer for Man of Steel, I really wanted him, you know, kind of that goal for him to kind of influence Snyder, you know, in a sense to where he can tell a great tragic story about the Superman movies. Which is what, you know, which is what I got in the trailers, you know, at least the second and the third trailer. But in the movie, not so much. I mean... That tragic stuff was there, you know, but it wasn't there for long. It eventually kind of faded away and just kind of went on with the story. And definitely there was a whole lot of action in this movie. Way more than what I expected. Way more than I expected from, like, literally the promos and the trailers. It was really intense. And on that scale, it was visually marvelous, you know, especially in 3D. I mean, if you're going to go watch this movie, go watch this movie in 3D. You know, don't even have to worry about the 2D stuff unless you... really just don't give a crap or a rat's buttocks. But though, like I said, you know, the action is good, but there is a little bit too much action in this movie, which kind of draws it away from the story. That's kind of one of the reasons why it's not really the 10 I was looking for, but didn't really affect it much. And yet, you know, sometimes it had, like, its good, like, those quotes, like from the third trailer when he's saying, when the lady's asking him, like, what's the S stand for? And he's like, it's not an S. I try to get my voice low, but... it doesn't work like that. I'm still going through puberty. But you know what I mean. I mean, like, that scene actually worked. I loved that scene. It was amazing. But then you had the other ones, like you saw in the promo, where the Marine chick is, like, being questioned, like, it's like, why are you smiling or something like that? And she's like, I just think he's really hot. That scene was kind of stupid and made me kind of lower the movie. But, I mean, those are, like, the minor stuff. I mean, this minor stuff with the Superman, not interrogation. That's not an interrogation. This isn't the Dark Knight. But you know what I mean, that scene was good. I mean, that scene was really good and well executed, while this scene wasn't. I mean, it has kind of those moments, but, you know, in the end, it really does work together, and it still tries to do somewhat of, you know, the dramatic Superman movie that I honestly wanted. I mean, look at Superman movies in the past. I mean, like, the original Superman movies, from Superman 1978 to Superman The Quest of Peace from whatever that year was. I think it was 1987. But anyway, you know, I mean, it has good, fun, you know, action, you know, for the whole family. Not really so much of a story. Well, actually, it did in Superman 2, which is what I really liked about that one. But then again, you know, it's all just action. That's kind of what Man of Steel sort of reminded me of, but better. And, you know, I mean, like, Superman Returns, I know a lot of people were not impressed with the Superman Returns. Honestly, I wasn't either. I mean, Superman Returns had great qualities, but then again it had other bad qualities, like, you know, the plot, you know, that the villains are preparing. That was really stupid, honestly. You know, having to build a planet on Krypton, and, you know, by the way, that's one thing, you know, because, I mean, I'm not a big DC comic book fan. I'm not a big Superman fan, you know. I just watch the movies. I don't read the comics. But, though, the only really villain that I have known in Superman movies without even reading them was Lex Luthor, you know. And, you know, I mean, he really doesn't have superpowers, if I'm correct, you know. I don't know how the comics go. You can question me later in the comments below. But, I mean, as far as, I'm just judging this off from Superman Returns. I mean, you know, Lex, all he had to do was bring Superman onto an island full of Krypton, you know, just have to beat him up, you know, and that was kind of dumb. Honestly, that part's kind of dumb. I mean, like, taking the Man of Steel, literally, you know, like the biggest, swollest, strongest, whatever dude that can fly that you've ever met, you know, and then you put it up with Lex Luthor, you know, he's just a human. I mean, he's just that, well, he's not really human. I don't know how the story goes, you know. Y'all can let me know in the comments below, and I'll understand comic books better. But anyway, you know. One thing, though, is I'm really glad they got a new villain. I mean, I didn't know who Zod was. I never heard of the guy. But I can tell from the looks of the trailer and from the movie that he was incredible. He was completely bad to the bone. I don't say badass because I don't cuss except for that time, but whatever, you know, he was amazing in this movie. Michael Shannon really delivered in this movie, way more than what I thought he was in the third trailer. He was really good, and, you know, watching him and Superman fight was just awesome. I loved it. You know, I mean, like I said before, the action scenes kind of take over from the whole story. But then, I mean, the action sequences, they are amazing. They are truly brilliant and visually marvelous. And plus, the movie has great acting also. I mean, Henry Cavill, I think is how you say it. You know, he was actually really amazing in this movie. I never really heard of the guy. I mean, I've seen him in Immortals, and he was okay. But in this one, he was really just brilliant. There were also some other great actors, like Amy Adams and Lawrence Fishburne, Kevin Costner, who was actually really good in this movie. I'm not a big fan of his, but he was really good. And then definitely, the big person that I really loved in the movie most was Russell Crowe. Oh my god, I loved him as Jor-El. He was just brilliant. He was amazing. You know, he was... Wow, he left me speechless. If there was one big thing that really does help make this movie make it want to go for that perfect 10, it's Russell Crowe. He's just an amazing actor. He is just, wow, he really took my breath away. His performance, you know, was really great. Now I know it's probably not going to be Oscar worthy and all that crap, but he was really amazing in this movie. You know, you have to give him that. And I really loved this guy, you know. It does, you know, definitely before, like I've said, it has those great elements. Then it has some of those minor elements that just aren't good. I wish it had more of a dramatic story, you know, but it didn't. But for what the movie's worth, it is still a very, very great Superman movie. Personally, you will love this movie. I'm like 95% sure. 5% of them, you know, I don't know, you might be girls or something. I don't know. I give this movie an 8. This movie is awesome. You know, you will enjoy this movie. You know, it may not be exactly the Superman movie that you wanted. You will definitely love this better than, like, some of the previous Superman movies, like Superman Returns and Superman 4. You know, you will definitely enjoy Man of Steel for sure. Okay, now we're done for the most anticipated movie of the world. Now let's get to the comedy. This is the end. The new movie starring Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, James Franco, Craig Robinson, Danny McBride, Jonah Hill, and other actors, you know, that are just out there, you know, and they're all playing themselves. And what's really funny in this movie, I mean, because, like, I mean, the Apocalypse story, you know, movies like that have been done before. I mean, 2012, Apocalypto, stuff like that. Wait. Yeah. I mean, yeah, those movies have happened like that. But though when you blend it in, when, you know, with like just comedy, the movie is actually pretty clever for what it is. I mean, it's a comedy-based movie with the apocalypse, and they, you know, just work together. It was really funny. Oh my gosh, I laughed so hard in the movie. I haven't laughed this hard since I saw Ted. This is the end. Is the first movie of the year where I actually was the first comedy where I can laugh so hard, you know, that, like, my sides get sores all the time, you know. It's just really, really funny, it was just very original. That's the surprising thing, you know, blending it in with, you know, something like the Apocalypse that we've seen before. It actually really works. I mean, you may think it's cheesy, but honestly, it actually works. And plus, the characters were really funny in this movie. They were all funny. They had their funny moments. And I love how they all reference, you know, each other's movies and all that stuff. You know, like when Danny McBride's going through all of his stuff and, like, he finds that prosthetic arm that he used in 127 Hours. And the fact that Danny McBride, you know, he's just going on about, you know, Seth, like in the teaser trailer, if you've seen the teaser trailer, the Red Band teaser trailer, he's like, you know, Seth, that is the better performance you've given in your last 6 movies. Where was that in Green Hornet? You know, I just kind of love that. I love how you take these actors and you put them into these types of concepts, you know. It was really funny, and it really worked. That was the best part about it, all of it. It really worked. And plus, Emma Watson, you know, in this movie, she was really brilliant. I don't mean to quote Harry Potter like that, but she was brilliant in this movie. It only worked better if I had like an English accent or a British accent. But I can't do that. I'm straight up Texan. Yeah, I'm actually Texan if you didn't recognize the southern accent. But anyway, yeah, Emma Watson was great in this movie. She's not really exactly a cameo, like, you know, she shows up in the movie once and then she doesn't really go in, then she'll probably return. No, she's in this movie. She's at the party. You can even see her in the trailer, you know, when James is like, what the... I don't have a censored thing. But if I had my iPod, it would work, but no. Okay, but yeah, you know, you could kind of see her. If you look in the trailer when James says that, you will see her like on the far... Actually, if you're looking right here, you'll see her like kind of like on your right side. I'm bad at this. Yeah, your right side. Yeah, this is my left side. But yeah, she's in the movie. I mean, she's in the movie. She's not really exactly cameo per se, so to say, but she is in this movie. She was awesome in this movie. I loved her in this movie, and she's beautiful. Definitely for sure. Emma Watson, I love you with all my heart. No, you know, just... It's true. Just take the compliment. But anyway, but definitely the best part of this movie, and I mean the best part of this movie, Michael Cera. Oh my god. Michael Cera. I mean, okay, let me just say this. I wasn't a big fan of Michael Cera. I mean, he was okay in Superbad, you know, but, I mean, I didn't really like him, you know, so much in all of his other movies, like Year One, Youth and Revolt, and stuff like that. But Michael Cera in this movie, oh my god, I laughed so hard from this guy. He is so funny. You know, him and the Rihanna scene just made me, I was rolling on the floor laughing. I was ruffling. Okay, I'll spit it out. Michael Cera made me ruffle on the floor, you know. Oh, man. He really redeemed himself, and personally, I respected him in this movie. Now, I know he's not in this movie a lot, you know, since he does die. Spoiler alert. Actually, I take that back. This is not a spoiler alert. You can watch this in the freaking trailer, honestly. You know, but I know he is short. He's not really in this movie a lot, but for the time he was in this movie, oh my god. I freaking loved him. I freaking loved Michael Cera in this movie. He was awesome. You know, like I said before, it has a surprisingly original story, great characters, great, hilarious, you know, based humor and all that stuff, great references to other movies. This movie was enjoyable. Now, usually when I rate comedies, I really don't give them higher than an 8. I don't know why. It's probably just because, like, the story development and how some movies really are stupid. And, you know, when you have that, it kind of withdraws it. But this movie was surprisingly original. It wasn't necessarily perfect, so to say, but it was awesome. I give this movie a 9. I'm actually really surprised to rate this better, like, more better than Man of Steel. That's not correct grammar. Anyway, rate this movie better than Man of Steel. But honestly, that's the way it is. And let me just say, you know, because everyone's going to go see Man of Steel this week. Okay, it's a fact. Everyone loves superhero movies, you know. They always sell out. I mean, just the event. I mean, look at the Avengers and The Dark Knight Rises. They made some serious money, and Man of Steel will too. But though, let me just say this: if Man of Steel is sold out and you can't go see it, I definitely recommend this as an alternative. This movie is funny; you will love it. You know, it's just a fun movie. I mean, me and my dad watched this movie, and I mean, he's really not into whole Seth Rogen's movies like Pineapple Express, and Knocked Up and Superbad, you know, which kind of pissed me off a little bit. But he walked out of this movie laughing. He loved this movie, and personally, so did I, and you will too. Yeah, like I said, I give this movie a 9. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Well, that's all my review. That's my review for this weekend. I will not be back to review next weekend's World War Z and Monsters University. I will be on vacation. I will be gone till the 26th. Hopefully by the 27th, I will make a video and do one over World War Z and Monsters University, and then do one for next week's, for the June 28th movies. I think it's The Heat and White House Down. Yes, The Heat and White House Down. I'll view that on the 28th. I will be gone for like 10 days, you know. But, actually, I'll be gone from the 16th to the 26th. So, but when I get back, we are going to be doing some serious hardcore reviewing. As long as I don't have any more vacation. Well, that's my video, and I hope you really liked it. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, tell your friends, you know. Go see Man of Steel. This is the end this weekend. You will personally love it. And peace. Ah, man, I just cracked my voice. Let me do this again. Peace.